You're listening to the Wife Wednesday Radio Network. Find, follow, and like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. You can hear us across the U.S. and around the world on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Now, here are your favorite radio wives.
Hey everybody, it's Wednesday and I'm one of your wives, Sina.
And I'm Nicole.
We're back with a whole new season of the Wife Wednesday show, and you can now find us on every major podcast platform across the country.
That's right. So sit back, relax, and join us for this week's episode here on the Wife Wednesday Radio Network.
All right, we're recording, but I'm going to get more whipped cream first. That was beautiful. Wow. That is the vibe for today's episode. Let's get into some facts of the week. We have this is very, I want to say, like government-based facts, which is odd because it all happened on the one day, just different years. So, 1982, NASA announced that the first black astronaut would be Gwen. I don't know if it's Gwen or Guion. Guion. I'd assume it was Gwen, but I think it's a male name. So Buford Jr., that's his last name. And the first woman astronaut would be Sally K. Ride. I really want to know how to pronounce his name, to be honest, but not necessary at the moment. In 1985, 200 ATF and FBI agents laid siege to the compound of the neo-Nazi survivalist group, the Covenant, the Sword in the Arm of the Lord in Arkansas.
Burn it down.
I just want to say I said Arkansas properly for everyone's benefit because I normally say Arkansas just to piss people off.
Just for fun.
And then in 1993 at Mount Carmel in Waco, Texas, the FBI launched a tear gas assault on the Branch Davidian compound, ending with a fire that killed 81 members, including 22 children.
That's sad.
It is. In 1995, a massive truck bomb exploded outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, killing 178 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Those are your facts for this week. You're welcome.
Hi.
I see you hearted my ketchup.
I did because I wanted you to know that I read it.
Okay.
I know you like validation.
I do. Literally, yes.
I mean, same.
All of last night and into this morning, I was waiting for you to heart our fanfic things that I wrote, and you finally did this morning.
I know, because I literally passed out.
I know, which is totally fine. It was just...
I literally laid down last night, took off my glasses, and I don't remember anything else.
Literally. I went to the bathroom, went to bed, and I was typing, and I remember putting my phone down in the middle of a sentence because I was so tired.
Yeah. I didn't even plug my phone in.
I slept great. I didn't bring pajamas this time. I forgot them. But I definitely slept without a blanket, naked for most of the night. It was great. That's my kind of sleeping, baby.
Yeah, I feel that. I slept in one of your shirts.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? What's going on?
I had my sleep study.
Yeah, let's get the elephant in the room.
Absolutely terrible. I, for one, hate hospitals. Just do. Nothing traumatic happened to make me want to hate hospitals. I hated hospitals before my emergency C-section. Like, just have. But it's not like something that I would never not... Like, I wouldn't not go to the hospital if I needed to. I just don't like being there.
Yeah.
But I went 8 o'clock at night, and they buzzed me up, get me in a room, and I waited 2.5 hours before they hooked me up.
Wow.
Till I could go to sleep and things. And like I had wires all in my head. Like they had to use like a scrub on my scalp, then put down some goo to put the thing on. And I had to sleep like that. And then I had 3 on my chest. I'm so sorry. I just like pushed a burp out of me. I had 2 hooked to my chest and then a strap around my chest, then a strap around my stomach. Then I had a, what's it called? Cannula.
What the?
In my nose. You know, like the breathing tubes?
Yeah.
But it wasn't to put oxygen in my nose. It was to check the breathing that's coming out of my nose. And then there was a thing.
Oh, none? I worry about her sleeping every night.
and there was something to measure the breathing coming out of my mouth. Was that it? Oh, I had also wires on my legs so they could see how often my legs were moving or twitching. Oh, and then I had the oxygen thing or whatever on my finger. The worst part of it was so uncomfortable. Like it wasn't tight or anything on my finger. It was just literally I couldn't touch my fingertip and it was driving me crazy. So I slept for 2 hours maybe and they woke me up saying, yeah, you qualify for a machine. Let's fit you with a mask at 1 a.m. I'm like, okay. First 2 masks were leaking. All right, I'm going to go find some other masks and we'll try those. She gets another one. Works perfectly. Great. I lay down. I get comfortable. I roll over onto my right side, which was away from all of the things. She comes in. Your things that are measuring your heart got dislodged or something. I need to fix them. It took like 20 minutes to fix them.
Well, stop turning over.
I literally was like, I'm not laying that way ever again. Because she took them off, tried a different pair. Then she has to go back out and look at the screens to make sure it's working. Comes back in. Those aren't working either. Has to get a new pair of the other size or whatever and put them on me. They finally end up working. It was a whole fucking thing.
I feel like at this point, you already know I need the mask.
Yeah. And well, because anytime something comes dislodged from you, they have to come in and wake you up and fix it. But after that, I slept. And then at 5 a.m. promptly, she came in. All right, time to wake up and leave. I was not a happy person when I got home. And I felt bad for my kids. I didn't like take it out on them, but I just was not in the mood to do anything. And I had an Easter dinner that night. It was interesting to say the least. But necessary because Cena wants me to live or something.
I do.
Oh, but a positive thing about the sleep study. Okay, I walk in and the girl who was taking care of me all night, she gets me from the door, lets me in or whatever, and she's like, oh, I love your sweater. I was wearing my green sweater with the ghost that says spooky on it. And I was just wearing like my black stretchy pants and I don't remember what shoes I wore, to be honest. I probably wore these. I don't know. But then later on she's like, oh, I really like your glasses too. And I feel weird because I keep complimenting you. I'm like, it's okay. I don't take any offense or anything to it. It's fine. And she was like, just asking me about like she's like, well, why are you here? I'm like, well, when I was on my birthday trip with my best friend, she said I just stopped breathing in the middle of the night. It's fine. She's like, oh, when's your birthday? I'm like, February 6th. She's like, oh, that's like a day before my brother's. He's an Aquarius too. I'm like, oh yes, I'm an Aquarius. Thank you for recognizing. And she's like, I also am an Aquarius. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so rare. I never find other Aquarius people. She's like, literally, yes, we are very rare. Like, I know.
What's the plural for Aquarius?
Aquarii. Aquarii.
Aquarii. It was a meeting.
A lot of
Aquarii.
people. A lot of people. But She definitely gave off spooky vibes, and I'm like,
Love it.
I love you so much. And then we were talking about Easter food and what is our favorite foods to eat. I was like, girl, it's gotta be deviled eggs. It's not even eating Easter food, but it's gotta be deviled eggs.
Yeah, that's the holiday food. That is the king of foods.
She was like, I think you just changed my favorite Easter food. I'm like, you're welcome. And then I had a doctor's appointment, follow up to my primary. When they gave me the anxiety depression scale test, the first time I was an 11 out of something, I don't know what it was. But this time I was a 3, which is really good.
Wow.
I know.
That is called improvement.
I know. And I lost 10 pounds. Doing
Round of
nothing.
applause.
Doing absolutely nothing except the medicine just curbing my diet.
You're dying?
My dying.
That too.
I mean, yes. Wow. Realer things have never been said on this podcast. But yeah, I don't have to go back for another 6 months. So
Is that just to like check how you're doing on the meds?
yeah?
Then? Perfect.
She gave me a 3-month supply this next time, and I'm just waiting for my other appointment at the end of May, which is book club day. People,
book club
coming at you. We decided on a book this time. It'll be more organized because I already got the book on my Audible,
and
so
I've got the book downloaded so I can read it.
Yeah, and then Brittany's just waiting for us.
Yeah, so
she's a gem.
We can start announcing it at some point.
Now.
I
mean, might as well.
Who's the author? Let me pull that part up.
I
got it.
Okay, good.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Ooh, that's a different book I'm reading right now.
The one you were telling me about?
That Sick Love?
Guys, you just need to expect that it is going to be a smut book. And I'm just saying we can continue the series if we finish it early, because I assume we will. And then that can also be part of book club.
So the author of the series that we're going to read, or the book we're going to read, is Emily McIntyre.
Yes.
And the book is called Hooked. And we've already talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
But we are finally reading that bitch.
Oh, yeah. Because Crossed is coming out at the end of summer.
Yeah, this is a five book series?
So far, yeah. I don't know if she's going to continue. I think I sent you a TikTok of her just because she was talking about Crossed.
There
I know.
Are a million TikToks that you have sent me.
I'm just letting you know that I had sent it to you.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I know you haven't watched them because you're sending ones that I've already sent you.
Oh, perfect.
How's your week? Struggle busting?
Struggle busting. My life is a struggle bus.
Literally. I feel you.
You know, like when you're broke, but then like there's broke, but then there's like broke.
There's like
and
eating
the broke
from
like eating everything you can find in your freezer.
Yes, I've noticed that your kitchen is literally
emptying. Yeah.
Yes, but that's also a good thing.
It is a good thing because now I'm getting rid of stuff. Like I'm being forced to eat things that
have just been sitting there.
And I know it's like, well, those aren't the things I'm eating, so I know what not to buy.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's been rough. And
hopefully it's turning around though.
Hopefully it's turning around. You can't hear the look I'm making. But on that also note, I met this guy through my work. And I just happened to notice he did roofing. And I was like, hey, Josh,
we just had a windstorm go through.
A windstorm. Actually, this was several months ago. Well, originally that I noticed like 1 or 2 shingles had come off.
But now
and then he's like, oh, yeah, I'll come out and check it out. And then we ignored it for 5 months.
Yes.
because that's what I do with my problems.
Yes.
And then we had this windstorm a couple weeks ago, and I
kind of
lost
bullied you into
so-
him coming. It was great. I'm like, that is exactly how you need to handle her, sir. Just tell her what you're doing and do it.
Yeah. I'm much happier.
Literally,
that way.
we went to Bueller's this morning, and I literally was scanning everything, and she's like, don't forget the dog food. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not. And I bought all of the groceries except the dog food.
And I was like,
Ma'am.
How many times a day do I say that to you?
I couldn't count.
But so he came out, he looked at the roof, and he's like, hey, this is what your next steps are, and hey, this and this shouldn't be here by the time the insurance guy comes.
What was it?
A half broken shingle like on the side of my house. He's like, that should just not be there at all. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he turns and he looks me right in the face and he's like, that should not be there. I'm like, I'm picking up what you're dropping.
You pick up what I'm saying. So how did we get it down?
My husband.
Okay.
But I mean, it was all just shattered, broken piece. And
Yeah.
literally just took a pair of pliers and pulled it off.
I love this man. I've never met him,
Literally.
but I love him so much.
He is everything that we would like
Oh,
tattooed, thick.
I will be here
funny.
when your roof is being repaired.
Tan skin, dark hair.
Yes.
Funny.
Mm-hmm. Daddy vibes.
Oh, God. He told me he's a roofer, but I bet he lays pipe.
Oh my god.
I had to whisper that so my husband doesn't hear upstairs.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Please don't ever listen to my podcast, Josh.
My Josh does not care. Oh, that Josh.
Josh.
Well, my Josh does not, I don't think, at the moment.
It's probably a good thing.
Probably.
Oh, but also maybe, so originally I was looking at the roof and then he's like, I'm like, oh, what about my siding? I'm like, do you do that? And he was like, I sure do. And that's why we
thank
started looking at
goodness.
it. And then we were just kind of looking around the house and I was showing him all like the damage. And then I lost like a corner piece up here.
Uh-huh.
And so he's like, you know, they may or may not bite with it. We don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, but I'm going to send them he texted me last night. He's like, I'm just going to send them an estimate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, babe.
Yeah. We went and saw Renfield Friday, and it surpassed anything I thought it was going to be.
Also same.
Because I didn't think it was going to be good
I was
by
afraid.
the trailers.
Yeah.
I was too. I was like, this is going to be dumb, but I'm here literally for my other mom.
For my mom.
Yeah. We went for Cena's mom's birthday because she loves everything Dracula.
She does. She always has.
Yes. And it was hilarious. The previews for the movies beforehand were hilarious.
Literally
Other than the Evil Dead one that was terrifying.
Which I would love to see anyways.
Also, yes. But the cheese grater. Oh, I couldn't.
Oh
could
my
not watch-
God. That
could
was
not
so
watch.
violent.
Oh, that hurts my arms. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. But it was, Renfield was hilarious.
Literally, Nicolas Cage as funny Dracula was perfect.
Yes.
He could not be serious Dracula
No.
ever.
No.
Funny Dracula, perfect.
Yes. Literally. Yes.
Him and the mob mom. I
Yes.
was like, please get
Yes.
married, fall
I
in
know.
love. You're made for each other.
Yeah.
Now, see, I wonder if there's going to be a second one because
She was arrested?
she was arrested. I'm like,
Teddy
what if Dracula
died.
goes and breaks her out of prison? Was he actually dead?
Dracula? Yes. He was in those cement ice cubes.
Oh, that's right.
Like they
But
encased
then
him
they
in
went
cement.
down into the sewers.
Yeah.
And like, what if it dissolves and he starts eating?
It's gonna be a couple years. It'll be a couple years.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be a couple hundred years before.
It was funny. It was great seeing a rated R movie that had no nudity.
Yeah.
It was very violent.
Very violent.
So
Blood
much
everywhere.
violence.
It was great. They were using arms for spears.
That was my favorite part. So violent.
This is not racist, but the Asian chick in it, I love her. She's
Yes.
hilarious in anything she does.
What else is she in?
She's in the the Asian movie that was like it was literally something Asian was in the title. I will figure it out.
Crazy Rich Asians?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was in that. She's in Ocean's 8, the girl boss movie with Rihanna and Sandra Bullock and all
we
of
went and
them.
saw that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
She was in that one.
Yes.
She was
like, she was so
she was
familiar.
the slick finger girl.
Yeah.
She was the rogue. That's how I classify everything in life now.
So glad you got into D&D.
I did.
So
I am
glad
too.
we adopted into our lives.
Yeah. Whipped cream break. Paisley's like, what? Oh, it's on your nose. You don't know it, but it's on your nose. We can talk about how Nicole has been pretty clingy emotionally to Cena
And I've
for like
been
2 weeks.
I don't want to say the opposites, as in I'm like, I don't want to be around Nicole, but I have been withdrawn.
Yes, I know. And I think that's why I've been so clingy.
You're like, wow, she's withdrawn. She must be depressed.
Wow, she's withdrawn. I should really annoy the fuck out of her.
And
I would be like calling and texting.
and then you texted me the other day and you're like,
I was like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for annoying you. I'm like, it's not annoying me.
I know,
It's
but
fine.
it was only because you took forever to respond because you left your phone at home charging while you went to your parents.
No, I took it down to my parents, but I was
Oh.
charging it downstairs, and then I was upstairs with Dad.
Yes.
and-
I was literally, was like, I'm fine. Just having a moment.
She's just having a meltdown, wondering if I love her.
Literally was. Yeah. I'm also just have been worried about you, so that doesn't help.
So, I know we've talked about it a couple times.
Yeah.
Food diary.
Uh-huh.
I wrote a note in this. The food diary, I have noticed since we've been doing it relatively consistently.
Yeah.
Like, we miss some days.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We don't record when we're with each other because we
'Cause-
keep each other we keep each other accountable when we're with each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I have begun to notice, now I've not weighed myself. I don't know if I've lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
But I have begun to notice that I'm starting to be able to recognize when I'm heading into a binge eating session where I start eating and I'm not tasting and I'm just eating to eat.
Yeah.
I'm eating to get rid of emotions. I can feel myself starting that because I know that I'm recording down what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And I know, well, this isn't normal.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't what I normally do.
Yeah.
So it is like giving myself a little bit more of accountability in a way. I mean, like I said, I'm able to recognize like the behaviors of, I know that I'm going into an emotional binge or a bored eating.
Yes.
Or a bored binge.
Like
or something.
after my appointment on Monday and I got weighed in and everything, I was starving for 3 full days. I ate and ate and ate. Not like binge, but like I had a meal for every meal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then all of a sudden, snap of a finger, I stopped eating. I wasn't hungry.
When it gets warmer out, I get less hungry.
I agreed. I would rather have a beverage or like a small thing of fruit that isn't going to wreck my stomach in the heat.
Yeah. I had strawberries yesterday that were the best strawberries I had in a long time.
With the food diary thing, I have started, like, I record everything, but also I feel like I have to confess to you sometimes, because there was that one day that I literally was upset, I think, with someone, or I was going through something, and I didn't eat for 23 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's part
Literally
of
from
accountability.
lunch to lunch. So
It's part of accountability.
yes. And it wasn't because I was like punishing myself. It was just because, like, I
You were upset.
had liquids. I didn't have solids. So I had
Listen, I think
things.
iced coffee could be 2 meals out of my 3 meals a
this
day.
coffee I could just have for breakfast and be fine.
Yeah.
Like,
But we know we're having breakfast.
oh, we are. It's going to be marvelous.
We eat for the joy of eating together.
Last night's dinner, we went out to dinner with tea, and it was, chef's kiss.
It was so good.
It had been so long since we just gone out.
I think we could have been at any restaurant.
Yes,
It would have been great.
literally. But that burger
It was good.
was life changing. It had like that bourbon au jus on it, and I was like, "Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Please give me your recipe. I'll make it at home."
They're like, no, that's the point. You come here to Applebee's.
I know. They had those delicious
Hello.
blue Hawaiian Long Island iced teas. Literally, 2 of my favorite drinks just became one, and I fell in love.
It was great.
It was.
I finished
so
her second
good.
one.
Yeah. Well, I bought it for both of us, but I was like, I have to drive home.
I could tell
Drive
you
us
were
home.
done.
I know. I was like, I can't.
And I was like, I can. And I did.
Yes.
And I was so full, but I didn't even care. I'm like, these drinks are like $9. I'm like, I'm drinking this bitch.
Yeah. Yes. I can't wait for my vacation in June to go see my Uncle Sean. Just
I
facts.
can't wait to go see him for his wedding.
I know that too.
I have his I have my vacation
Yeah.
time approved for it.
I am literally coming back the day before your birthday. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I made it that way, but I'm off till the 5th. Like, I go back to work on the
too
5th.
am off till the 5th.
Yes. So I plan on coming home on that Saturday and literally hoping we're celebrating your birthday on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I will
God.
plan my life
I
around
know.
you.
I literally was like, I really hope we're okay with
No,
that.
I know you need time.
Because I was like, I need to at least have one night's rest before I go and get sloshed and spend the night here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I was talking about how broke I am.
Yes.
All I want to do is spend money right
I
now.
know.
Like,
Yes.
I've been looking. I have added like 40 things to my Amazon
Mhm.
wish list. I have been clothes shopping and filling up carts online.
Don't,
and then never
because
purchasing.
Nicole just clothes shopped a little for work clothes, and we'll be getting more soon.
I know. I'm not saying I'm ordering anything.
I know.
I'm like,
You're the put it in my cart and let it sit there, and I feel like I bought it.
I'm going to use this as an example. You know how masturbation is not sex, right?
Yes.
I am shop masturbating. I am assembling
Edging.
everything.
Edging.
I'm edging myself. Assembling everything I want in the
Yes.
cart and then closing out of the website forever.
Yes.
I'm like, well, that was great.
I do that when I don't have money. I put things in my Amazon shopping cart and I just leave them there. And then when I come back to it, I'm like, I don't need that. I
Yeah.
don't need that. And
Yeah.
then I'll put this for save for later. Because I have to buy this thing now.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you're like, well, I guess I didn't really need that. That was impulse.
Exactly.
And you can go through and delete everything you
Yeah.
don't actually need.
Which
and then
is
you're
the-
left with what you actually need.
Which is great. Which is a great thing about online shopping. It's not going shopping, buying it, and then having to return it.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Ugh.
Could not imagine.
Apparently just learned that you can return your Amazon purchases at Kohl's.
Yes.
I had no clue about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. I did that once. I was like, is this a real thing? And it is.
Wow.
I know. You can also do it at the UPS store behind Beulah's, Big Beulah's. I did that once. I don't recommend because it's hella busy. I did it during Christmas time. It was the worst.
Yeah.
I got us choker necklaces, and they're everything.
She cuffed me again.
I did. I'm claiming my territory. It's fine.
I'm not wearing it this morning, but she is wearing hers.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get used to it because I like it. I remember wearing choker necklaces.
I never wore chokers.
I did.
until,
I used
last
like
night.
those. I used to have those stretchy ones that are like the
Yeah.
spirally looking overlapping ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have those when I was younger.
I feel like we never had them.
Probably, I don't know.
My sister would have to clarify that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember ever having one.
I remember them being a thing. They were more of a thing when we were like toddlers and things, though, in the like early 90s.
Yeah. And at that point, there was a lot of. My dad was definitely. My parents, I don't want to say they cared so much what we wore,
Mhm.
but there were certain things like, say, a choker that I think that they would have
Symbolized
thought was
something.
sexualized.
Yes.
And so they wouldn't have let us wear that.
Mm-hmm. Like brought vision to your neck, which would bring vision to your.
Yeah.
Yes, I get that.
And I feel like that's why I never got to wear one. And I remember all my skinny friends wearing them, and they had like the child size ones.
Yes.
And then I couldn't
Then
wear that.
I have fat neck syndrome. Always have, always will. Fat wrist syndrome, ankles.
Yes. Fat neck syndrome.
There's new people at work, and there's
Ew.
another one starting this week, and then another one starting next week. And the first one out of the 4 that started like 2-3 weeks ago. I don't think she's gonna last, and I really hope she doesn't.
Oh my gosh.
I know her from a prior life.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And she's just not gonna make it. She's stupid. I say that seriously. I had to train her on
Not with
something.
love.
I had to train her on something, which is I am still a newbie, and I trained her on literally labeling an email, like scanning in a mortgage change and labeling the email, and she can't do it right.
She can't label an email?
No.
You just right click and change the file.
Yeah, so if there's one policy on there, you're supposed to put the name and the policy, and then if there's multiple, you put how many policies are on there, and you just put like 7 mortgage changes, and that's how you label them. She keeps putting one mortgage change instead of labeling them, and I don't know if I'm supposed to correct her or not. And Brittany said, it's a Monday problem to me. And I was like, fine, I'll try. I'll leave it as a Monday problem.
About it?
I was on Friday because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, do I message her or do I message Candy? I don't want to get her in trouble, but I also
don't want to get in trouble yourself.
Yeah, because she scanned in like 400 changes this week and is labeling them incorrectly, and they're going to have to get relabeled.
Then I'd say something. Fuck bitches.
The other girl I trained is doing them correctly.
Some people need a little more hand holding.
I don't do that.
Unless it's mine.
True that. But I've also been working a lot of overtime at work. Like Thursday night when we did a Discord sesh with Therese, I was planning on pulling in some like 3 hours plus of overtime.
No.
And I didn't. I needed mental awareness from work. Because in the past 2 weeks I did not a lot of overtime. It was only 10 and a half hours of overtime.
That's a lot of overtime.
It is. But yeah, I just needed to not. Because it's like every day I do overtime, it's going into work a half hour early and taking half of my lunch. But just that hour every day.
Mhm.
And then if I work in the evenings is a lot for me. So I took that time because we have some mandatory volunteer time in 2 Mondays.
Mandatory volunteer.
Well, I don't mean mandatory volunteer. It's mandatory overtime to catch up our work. Like
Yeah.
everyone is going to be there. We're getting dinner, everything, and there'll be a drawing for like gift cards every hour and stuff like that.
So it's definitely like an overtime-a-thon.
Yes. Yeah. So like the people who get off at 4 will work 4 to 7, and then like me, I'll work 5 to 8. So, but I'm okay with that. I would rather be at work and do the overtime with no phone calls than do it at home with my children who just strive for like want my attention, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I
But
can't.
when mommy's working.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just plan on being ratchet that whole 3 hours. It's going to be great.
I love it.
I'm going to scare the woman next to me who's scared of goths.
God bless.
Do you have anything else to talk about?
I wrote
Sorry.
something else in there, and I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it due to today.
Okay. To go on Cena's closed offness and me being clingy. I have been going through withdrawal from our fanfic because I wrote all this stuff and I got it to this point, and then Cena was like, I can't touch this right now for a full week.
I know. I haven't touched
Full
it.
week. And I was like, I can't live anymore. And at dinner yesterday, I literally told her, you did write something on Thursday.
Thursday I did. Yeah.
But then last night I was like, you either need to write something or I'm writing it for you.
And I was like, go ahead and write.
And so I did. It's been great. I'm better now.
I'm literally living for it. I'm reading everything she's
Yeah.
writing.
It's just
I've-
yeah.
Run out of
Stamina at the moment.
stamina. That's
Yeah.
the best way to put it.
Because
I don't care about my house. I
Yeah.
don't care. I literally I'm surviving
Yes.
right now.
Mhm.
And
that's okay. Sometimes you need that.
I
I
literally
will
have just
provide
been on
you
my
with this
phone.
stuff. I
That-
will provide you with this love.
I literally come home from work, I lay down on the couch and
I
I lay
know.
on my phone, and that's it.
I know.
And
By
then
the
I
time-
nap.
Because by the time I get on the computer, you're already asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just literally saying that's just what you've been doing.
Depression coma.
Yeah.
Stress coma. Tell me about your unhealthy coping mechanisms. However, not on my list, but in starting May at work, we're doing this thing. It's like through an app.
I see what we're talking about now.
And
Go ahead.
you make a bet against yourself.
Oh, yeah.
About doing like
You were
steps
telling
and your
us about
steps
that.
goals. And I think I'm going to do that because
Mhm.
it starts like May 1st. And I'm like, happy Beltane.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to do that. I kind of want to do that. It's there. I think there's like one day. It's like for 4 days of the week, you need to hit your steps goals. 2 days, you can do half your steps goals. And then one day is like, you don't have to hit your step goal or something. If that's what I've gathered from this thing correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'll have a problem getting my steps in because I like to move a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I need to find my watch charger and see if I can get my steps to sync. Because
Do you have my old watch or do you have your own watch?
I have my own that Therese gave me for my for Christmas one year.
Okay.
It's just been through a lot.
I just couldn't remember what kind of watch it was. Like what kind of charger you need.
It's one of those magnetic ones.
Yeah.
And it's like its own special one,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. Cool.
So eventually I'll get that Apple Watch I want
Mm-hmm.
one day. So what's your hyperfixations unless you got anything else, baby?
No, I have nothing else to say. It was just dinner dates. I have another dinner date on Monday with work friends.
Oh, so proud of you.
Yeah,
social.
as long as my mom will watch my kids, because Josh also has something, I think.
A game.
No, normally he doesn't take games on Monday. What was it?
Is he going golfing? Steven golf
Oh, he
anymore?
does have a game. I think it's because before he set his limits, he took games anytime, and then he set limits. Because he figured out he needed boundaries from that, and I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because Mondays and Tuesdays are the only days that I can set appointments. Sometimes on Wednesdays.
But Wednesdays are karate days.
Wednesdays are karate days now, so. Which he's doing great in.
Love that.
Like, really close to getting his gi. I'm so excited.
Really?
Yes.
So proud.
Okay, my hyperfixations are chicken or tuna salad. Because it's fresh.
Yeah.
And that's just what I need for lunch, I think. Sushi for breakfast. Not a meal, the song.
The song is also on my hyperfixation list.
Yes. And then smut books.
Ma'am, we wrote the same things.
And simply spiked peach drinks.
And so my hyperfixations was literally smut books, Sushi for Breakfast by Bailey, and Nasty extended version by Russ.
And then there's a second extended version coming out. I'm like,
how much dirtier can you get?
Thank you.
Literally.
Do you watch his TikToks? Because, oh my God.
I almost sent you a bunch of them, and I'm like, I
I
feel like
have
she
the
follows
chills.
him.
Listen, I do. And I follow a lot of other men that do that type of content. It's great.
Literally, I find myself getting embarrassed, and this is weird.
Secondhand
for me.
embarrassment. Yes.
I get embarrassed, but I love it. But from the actual song, when he says nothing like the moan when just the tips.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
Sir.
Yes. I get a lot of inspiration for our fanfic from those videos.
Oh yeah,
I
sure.
bookmark a lot of them for that reason.
I think I miss writing Finn in our fan fiction.
Well, he's supposed to be coming back.
He will be.
I think that's why you lost interest.
Because she's happy.
Because she's happy. Oh my God.
Oh my
The realization.
I think her and Demetrius are going to have to fight.
No, I don't think so.
About him being like,
I think
you're allowed to be happy.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Quit sabotaging yourself.
Quit sabotaging yourself. Quit drinking.
Yeah.
Or don't quit drinking. Quit blacking out.
Yeah. After this whole thing that I was talking about that's happening after seeing Primrose, I'm canceling the drinks thing with Abraxas, but I'm coming back to talk to you about everything that's happening.
Okay.
Basically coming in, barging in, and kicking my brother out.
Yeah.
And being like, I need her now. You don't matter. Go see our sister or something.
Out.
So, yeah. I honestly can't wait to record the Dark next.
Well, that's what we're doing, huh?
I know. It's so great.
So tune in the week after this drops for the Dark.
Yes. You'll love it. It's got spring vibes.
Don't know what that means. Thanks for listening to this week's episode.
This week's show was recorded by yours truly in our studio in Ohio.
Our show is edited, mixed, and published by the team at Lead Up Studios, and our executive producer is Dustin,
aka Daddy.
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday podcast.
Until next time,
bye!
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday Radio Network. Wife Wednesday is produced by Lead Up Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. Sound mastering and final production is handled by me, Dustin. Be sure to find, like, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to share the show with your friends. New episodes from the Wife Wednesday Radio Network drop every Wednesday on all major podcast platforms in the U.S. and abroad. To contact the show directly, please email us at info@wifewednesdaypod.com. Thanks for listening.